welcome the best mascot in the Great West League, Rowdy! Throwing out our first pitch tonight is BG Gold, the unofficial mayor of Medford.
It's time for Medford Rogues baseball as the Rogues take on the best of the West in the Great West League. Don't miss a minute of the action. Listen to every Medford Rogues game all season long, live on MedfordRogues.com. Now, it's time for Medford Rogues baseball. Here's the voice of the Rogues, Brian Schnee.
A pleasant good evening to you, and welcome to Harry and David Field for night number 2, game number 2 between the Medford Rogues and the Chico Heat. My name is Brian Schnee. Nice to have you with us, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. This is Medford Rogues Baseball, live on MedfordRogues.com. Valley Media Care is a proud sponsor of our Rogues broadcast team. Valley Media Care has locations in both North and South Medford, Ashland, Grants Pass, and Brookings, offering urgent care, occupational health, physicals, laser services, and more. Head to valley-ic.com for more information. And we wish we could give you a pregame injury report presented by Valley Immediate Care, but you know what? We don't have anyone, so it's a good start to the season. Thanks to all of you for joining us on our social media platforms, at Medford Rogues on Twitter, at Medford Rogues on Instagram, and at Medford Rogues Baseball on Facebook. Starting lineups coming to you in just a few minutes, but first we'll head on down to the field where Jonathan Kerman is standing by with Josh Hogan, the manager of the Rogues.
All right, thanks, Brian. Down on the field here with Coach Hogan. Coach Peyton Fuller's on the mound tonight for you guys. Fresh out of high school, graduated literally last night. This is his first exposure to college ball. As a former player, how do you wrangle in the nerves of your first time playing at a higher level of baseball?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, you're nervous. He's gonna have a packed crowd tonight. We're gonna have fireworks after playing Chico Heat, a good team. You know, his first college experience. He just graduated high school yesterday. I'm sure he's got a few nerves in there, some butterflies. You know, but that's expected, and we expect everybody to have nerves. You know, their first debut on a new team, a new level of baseball. You know, we just expect him to go out there and and have fun, compete. And, you know, he might mess up a little bit. He might, you know, he might get in some trouble, but we expect him to just be tough and, you know, have faith, have belief that he's going to Oregon for a reason. You know, he's a good player. He knows that. He should know that. He's done the area code stuff. He's been a great high school pitcher. So if he just does him and, you know, don't worry about trying to be something extra or something that he's not, and just be him, then we're going to be pretty excited to see what he's going to bring to the table.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, you bet.
Brian, back to you.
All right, Jonathan, thank you so much. We're going to step aside. We're going to come back. We're going to get you the starting lineups for Medford Rogues baseball live here on MedfordRogues.com. It's night number 2 between the Chico Heat and the Medford Rogues on a beautiful Saturday evening here in Medford, Oregon. It's the Rogues' 5th birthday, and we're happy to have you along for the ride live here on MedfordRogues.com. You're listening to Medford Rogues baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live here on MedfordRogues.com.
Bank, we know that banking doesn't have to be complicated. Good banking happens when we put people first. Here at People's Bank, we're for the people with big dreams. We're here for families working on creating a better life for their children. We're for businesses investing locally to create a better community we're proud to call home. This is Ken Troutman, president of People's Bank. When we put people first, families grow stronger, businesses thrive, and our community flourishes. People's Bank, we put people first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It doesn't get much better than that. Welcome back to Harry and David Field, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. This is Medford Rogues Baseball, live on MedfordRogues.com. My name is Brian Schnee, our producer and reporter tonight. Jonathan Kerman, also keeping live stats for you. We will get that link updated in the description here shortly. Once again, it is nice to have you with us. Chico got the win last night in extra innings. It was a 5-4 win. And the Rogues committed 7 errors in the ball game, so we'll see if the Rogues are able to mix things up here defensively and also make a couple changes that might affect what happens in the field. We'll give you the fielding assignments here before we give you the batting lineup for the Chico Heat. Both teams 3-1 for your Medford Rogues here at home. Manager Josh Hogan, and in left, Clay Valenzuela. Center, Connor Lowry, and in right, Jake Helwig. At third base, Jaden Hanna. At short, Davis DeLorphis, and at second, Scotty Wright. At first, Johnny De La Cruz. The catcher once again tonight is Dante Gutierrez, and the right-hander from Ashland, Oregon, just down the street, just graduated from high school last night. Peyton Fuller. We'll see what Peyton is all about, the former Ashland Grizzly. Long, lean, and we'll see how he goes at this Chico Heat lineup. We'll give that lineup to you now. The Heat are managed by Fred Ludwig, and the Heat once again 3-1. The first hitter in the lineup is center fielder Tanner Tokunaga. Batting in the 2 spot, the catcher wearing number 2, Jake Davidson. Batting third in left field, wearing number 12, Jack Rodeville. Batting cleanup, the shortstop number 4, Chris Smutney. Batting fifth, the designated hitter number 16, Bailey Zimmer. Batting sixth, the right fielder number 15, Cole Lemmel. Batting seventh, the first baseman number 5, Marcus Wilhite. Batting eighth, the third baseman number 10, Joe Bath. And batting ninth, the second baseman, Cade Cloward. Zach Sherman is the pitcher for the Chico Heat tonight. We'll see what he is all about in just a few minutes. Thanks to all of you for joining us on the live stream. It is a pleasure to have you with us. We've been with you all season long. This is game number 5. It's our 5th birthday here with Medford Rogues Baseball. And for those of you joining us on YouTube, we appreciate you commenting along throughout the evening and letting us know what you like, what you hear, what you see. Cheer your team on. We're happy to have you with us here live on MedfordRogues.com. Presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Brian Schnee here with you. Tokunaga ready to step in the right-handed batter's box. The Rogues throw it around. We're in the green tops, white bottoms. The Chico Heat, the navy blue tops, and the gray bottoms. Your umpires tonight, home plate, Mike Carr, and in the bases, Eric Martinez. Great crowd on hand for the 5th birthday celebration of the Medford Rogues. First 500 fans received free cupcakes courtesy of our friends at Fred Meyer. Tonight we've got fireworks, surprises, and more surprises. So hope you'll join us if you're listening from home. Come on down to the ballpark. Peyton Fuller checks a sign from Gutierrez. His first pitch on the way. Outside corner for strike number 1. We are underway here at Harry and David Field in Medford. Tokunaga made a great catch in the bottom of the 8th last night to rob the Rogues of runs that would have ultimately pushed them to a win. It's the second pitch of the at-bat to right center field. Connor Lowry easily there for the catch. And that is out number 1 in the inning. This brings up the catcher, Jake Davidson. Squares bunt, pulls back, 1 ball, no strikes. One ball, no strikes, 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Fuller deals the 1-0. Swung on and popped up to Peyton Fuller. De La Cruz calls him off, makes the catch. Quickly for out number 2. This will bring up the left fielder, Jack Rodeville. So a fly out to center for Tokunaga and a fly out to De La Cruz, who comes over to help out. 4 pitches for Fuller here in the first inning. Again, both these teams 3-1. on the young season. And a wonderful crowd on hand here at Harry and David Field. 2 outs. Fuller goes at the 3-hitter Rodeville. First pitch downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Who's in the right-handed batter's box. 2 outs. Top 1. No score. Fuller gets the sign from Gutierrez and goes to the plate. Up and in. 2 balls, no strikes. Blustery evening here in Medford. Flag in left center. All about it. From right to left. Here's the 2-0. Also up and in. 3 balls, no strikes. Courtesy of BG Gold, here's some scores from Saturday's action in the NCAA baseball tournament. St. John's eliminated by UNC 3-1 today. Ohio out because of Indiana's 11-2 win. Xavier over Radford. Radford now gone. Florida State over UCF. And the Knights are out. Bethune-Cookman knocks out Marist 4-2. North Carolina knocking off Michigan 8-1. And Maryland over UMBC 16-2. North Medford softball winners at the 6A softball state championship earlier this afternoon in Corvallis at Oregon State. Congratulations to the Lady Black Tornado. We love it. It was a pleasure watching them and getting to broadcast a couple games for the North Medford team down the stretch. Thanks to James for checking in from Fort Worth. 3-2, Fuller, the comebacker. It's hit hard up the middle for a base hit. Rodeville on with a 2-out single here in the top of the first inning. And this will bring up the cleanup batter, the shortstop, Chris Smutney. Again, you can join us live on MedfordRogues.com, both here at home at Harry and David Field and on the road. The Rogues hit the road as we'll head to Marysville to take on the Yuba City Bears on Monday, and then Lincoln to the newly renovated McBean Stadium. For those of you that were joining us on the broadcast last night, we get a preview of that stadium from Great West League President Ken Wilson. We'll see who we might have for special guests on the broadcast with us tonight. You never know. Fuller checks over at first. Rodeville in safely. He will go to the plate with 2 outs. First pitch is a strike, but Mike Carr calls a dead ball. Smutney backed away even before that pitch got to the plate. So the count will remain no balls, no strikes with Rodeville over at first base. No score, top 1. Great to have you with us here live on MedfordRogues.com. Presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Chico Heat, Medford Rogues. It's Great West League baseball action here at Harry and David Field. Fuller checks over at first, nothing doing. Again, head to MedfordRogues.com. If you've maybe clicked away from the link, you're on YouTube now. You can head back to MedfordRogues.com. Get all your tickets, get the schedules you might need for promotional nightly schedules, the full game schedule. First pitch strike to Smutney of this at-bat. The first one was blown dead. Count 0-1. 2 outs here on a very special 5th birthday evening for the Medford Rogues. And a great crowd on hand. We'll give you a look at that on our live Facebook page tonight with some pictures. For those of you that weren't able to make it, make sure you head on over to Medford Rogues Baseball on our Facebook page so you can see some of the action from tonight. A game story as well every evening. And as always, maybe pictures of fireworks. We love those. We'll have some fireworks tonight. Smutney has the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Fuller deals from the stretch. Smutney flails at it and fouls it down the right field line, out of play. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Smutney fending off that pitch. Count is 0-2. Don is joining us from Vero Beach, Florida. The runner is off. The no ball, 2 strike pitch is swung on through for the 3rd out of the inning here at the top of the 1st. 1 hit for Chico, but Rodeville ultimately stranded. We'll go to the bottom half of the 1st inning. We'll get you the starting batting lineup for the Medford Rogues. Also, who's in the field for the Chico Heat. We're scoreless through the top half of the 1st. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. All right, welcome back to Harry and David Field. Bottom of the first, no score from the top half, although Chico did get a single from Jack Rodeville, who was ultimately stranded, and Smutney went down on strikes. Live stat link available for you on MedfordRogues.com. It's nice to have you all with us here on MedfordRogues.com for game number 2 of the Chico Heat, the Medford Rogues, in a Friday, Saturday, Sunday series here in Medford. Let's get you the Rogues batting lineup. Leading off shortstop, number 18, Davis DeLorfis. Batting in the 2 spot, the left fielder, number 13, Clay Valenzuela-Reese. Batting third, the first baseman, number 2, Johnny De La Cruz. Batting in the cleanup spot. The right fielder, number 27, Jake Helwig. Batting fifth. The center fielder, Connor Lowry. Batting sixth. The catcher, Dante Gutierrez. Batting seventh. The designated hitter, Josh Berman. Batting eighth. The third baseman, Jaden Hanna. And rounding out the lineup, the second baseman, Scotty Wright. We are back underway here in the bottom of the first. DeLorfis sees the first pitch for a strike, swings through the next one, 0-2. Fielding assignments for Chico, Rodeville in left, Tokunaga in center, Lemmel in right, Bath at third, Smutney at short, Cloward at second, and Will Height at first. Zach Sherman, the right-hander on the bump, has the count at 1-2 strikes to DeLorfis, and Jake Davidson for the second night in a row is behind the dish. DeLorfis played his first game for the Rogues last night, was later in the batting lineup, has been bumped up here to the leadoff spot. Connor Lowry didn't have a great night in the leadoff spot, and he was moved to fifth. Couple changes as Lowry had been hot in the first series against the Yuba City Bears and then cooled off last night in that leadoff spot, so a little adjustment there by Josh Hogan. 2 strikes to DeLorfis. The right-hander deals. DeLorfis puts on the ground a high chopper to the shortstop, and it's the third baseman who cuts it off, and Joe Bath fires a strike to the first baseman, Marcus Wilhite, for a quick first out. This brings up Clay Valenzuela-Reese, the left fielder. The right-hander for Chico, 6'3", 220 from Ramona, California, product of the University of Arizona. And we know that program very well, given the coaches on the Rogues, with a little Rogues alumni. They were former Rogues in the first ever game here at Harry and David Field in 2013. First pitch swinging as Clay Valenzuela rips it down the third baseline, sneaks it fair, and a first pitch single from Valenzuela with one out here in the bottom of the first. And that gets the fans a little love here at Harry and David Field. They're moving now. This will bring up Johnny De La Cruz, fan favorite returning Rogue. Back to that University of Arizona connection. Jay Johnson, the head coach. Ray McIntyre and Michael Bradshaw, director of baseball operations and assistant of director of baseball operations at the University of Arizona, were actually in the first ever ball game for Medford Rogues baseball when they played here in a home opener and a franchise opener in 2013. The Rogues were members of the West Coast League for 3 years, and then went on to tackle this Great West League. Last year winning 40 regular season games, and then ultimately losing to Chico in a 3-game series, a championship series. And the Chico Heat actually won the 2016 Great West League right here on this very field. Sherman checks over twice at first, nothing going there. Valenzuela-Reese slides in safely both times. Gets the jersey a little dirty there. De La Cruz stepping in. Inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Jake Helwig on deck. Connor Lowry, as we mentioned, batting in the 5 spot. Again, thanks to all of you for joining us live on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. The 2-0 from Sherman is up and in. 3 balls, no strikes. No score here in the bottom of the first. Chico did get one guy on the bases. It was a 3-2 pitch, actually, and the ability by Jack Rodeville to fend off that pitch and drive it up the middle was spectacular, but he was ultimately stranded. A 4-pitch walk to Johnny De La Cruz, and we've got runners on first and second. This will bring up Jake Helwig. Helwig has started every game for the Medford Rogues on this young season. The Rogues again 3-1. So Valenzuela Reese at second and De La Cruz at first. It's Johnny's third walk of the young season. One away. First pitch swinging. Jake Hellwig hits it to the right side. Thrown over to second for one. De La Cruz breaks it up. So no throw over to first. So Hellwig moves the runner over to third. Runners on the corners. And this will bring up Connor Lowry. So Hellwig reaches on a fielder's choice. Prior to that bat, a .400 average, 15 at-bats, 6 hits, 4 runs in the 4 games for the Medford Rogues. This brings up Connor Lowry, .250 with 20 at-bats on the young season. Runners on the quarters, Valenzuela Reese 90 feet away. Hellwig over at first. First pitch to Lowry, low and outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Sherman looks over at first. Comes to his set. Leg kicks, fires, same result. 2 balls, no strikes. Can always keep up with us on social media at Medford Rogues on Twitter and Instagram, at Medford Rogues Baseball on Facebook. The Rogues would like to thank our friends at Avista, serving Medford since 1906. Avista has created opportunities, sparked imaginations, and fueled innovation. Today, as they celebrate more than a century of service, the folks at Avista are committed as ever to helping the communities they serve to grow and prosper. Head to avistautilities.com. Quick play over to first, and Connor Lowry gets thrown out. And that quickly ends the bottom of the first. Runners stranded at first and third. And we're scoreless through 1. We'll go to the top of the second inning. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. Presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. 5-6-7 for the Chico Heat. In the top of the second inning, we are scoreless here at Harry and David Field. Brian Schnee with you. Nice to have you with us on a beautiful Saturday night here in Medford, Oregon. And you can always listen to us live on MedfordRogues.com, both here at home and on the road, as we will go to Marysville, California, on Monday to take on the Yuba City Bears, and then Lincoln after a 4-game series. So we'll be gone and on the road for 7 games in a row. Edison Volquez, 98 pitches and a no-hitter of the D-backs. That's a big one there, BG. Yep. Thanks to BG Gould for that update. It's the Miami Marlins blanked the Arizona Diamondbacks with a no-hitter. This will bring up Bailey Zimmer. The right-hander, Peyton Fuller, goes to the plate. Strike at the knees, count 0-1. Zimmer, a .286 hitter, 4 hits, 3 doubles, 3 RBI. Second pitch of the at-bat looked close, inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. No outs here in the top of the second inning. We are scoreless. Each team has 1 hit. Count is 1-1. Fuller goes to the plate. Big swing by Zimmer, and he fouls it back into the parking lot. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fuller gets the sign from Dante Gutierrez. And then a quick timeout called by Mike Carr behind home plate. So we'll pause here with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Now the pitch. Hit high and hard to deep left field. Going back at the warning track and making a catch is Clay Valenzuela-Reese for a deep out, number 1. Nice job by Clay tracking that fly ball. It was hit pretty good off the bat. I believe that wind almost knocked it down a bit in front of the scoreboard in left field and preserves extra bases. Nice tracking there by Valenzuela-Reese in his second night in left field. Peyton Fuller is a University of Oregon commit. Fuller comes to the Rogues having been a standout at Ashland High School. He graduated last night. Was originally, I believe, supposed to start last night, but the coaches said, hey, you want to graduate or you want to throw? I think I'll take that piece of paper. First pitch to Cole Lemmel. Downstairs in the dirt, 1 ball, no strikes. Fuller went 4-1 his senior season for the Grizzlies, a 1.32 ERA, 73 strikeouts, a 124 batting average against in 47 2/3 innings. First team all Midwestern League for a second year in a row. Speaking of Midwestern League, a quick shout out to Crater, who met Churchill, fellow Midwestern League program, in the 5A state championship, baseball state championship earlier today. And the Comets unfortunately lost. A gapper to left center field by Cole Lemmel. He hit it strong, trying for 2, fired in by Connor Lowry, but a stand-up double with 1 out for Cole Lemmel here in the top of the second. Thanks to Fred Meyer, the Rogues will offer specially priced family ticket packages for each Sunday home game. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 fountain drinks, and 4 souvenir beverages for just $44. These ticket packages are only offered at each of the 3 Fred Meyer stores locally in the Rogue Valley. Don't miss out on the fun. It's Fred Meyer Family Fun Sundays. And again, thanks to Fred Meyer for making sure the first 500 fans got a cupcake tonight for the 5th birthday. Appreciate them for making sure tonight was extra special for the fans here at Harry and David Field. And thanks to all of you for joining us that weren't able to make it to the ball game tonight from far and wide. Don listening from Vero Beach, Florida. Must have a tie to Scotty Wright. And James Floyd, of course, from Fort Worth, Texas. The resident hometown of Will Floyd, who got an inning of work last night for the Medford Rogues. We're back underway. 1 out, runner on second. Fuller from the stretch goes to the plate. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. This brings up Marcus Wilhite, batting from the left side. Threw the bunt down, but pulled it back. One ball, no strikes. Fuller looks at second, looks at the plate, checks back to second, holds, and deals. Downstairs, Gutierrez lets one go and couldn't find it. And a runner advances from second to third, and Dante has put in a lot of work since coming here to Medford. Gutierrez has caught every inning of the season so far. Not to mention, I don't believe anyone is in town yet that could truly 100% catch. I'm sure people could step in, but no catchers on the roster back here in town yet for the Rogues, so we're waiting on a couple guys to fill in that roster spot. Gutierrez of the University of San Diego, now 1 out, runner on third. Hit hard, sharply. De La Cruz fields, fires to the plate, way outside. Not only does a run score, but now the runner advances to second base, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Chico Heat here in the top of the second.
Third baseman, Joe Bath.
So on the wild pitch, Lemmel advanced from second to third, and then Wilhite hit it hard on the ground, allowing Lemmel to score. It's a 1-0 lead for Chico here in the top of the second inning. Morton's offers something for everyone. Morton's has a full sports bar, a separate family dining side of the restaurant, and even delivery. Check out the website, mortons.com. That's Morton's with 2 R's, Morton's of East Medford. 1 out, runner on second. Fuller from the stretch. First pitch strike to Joe Bath, the third baseman. Bath, a 154 hitter. 2 hits, 2 runs, 13 at-bats, 2 walks, and a strikeout on the young season. Beautiful night here in Medford, Oregon. Sun is shining as it has all season long. Little breeze on hand as Fuller steps off. Just a great night for baseball, and we've got a packed house. Fuller looks over at second and will go to the plate. Bath looks at strike number 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 1-0 lead for Chico. 2 hits in this ball game so far for the Heat. Chico stole game 1 in extras last night, winning 5-4. Rogues got 6 innings from Jaden France. 4 runs, none earned, but errors were committed, to say the very least. 7 of them. Fuller in the dirt. Gutierrez keeps it in front. And a runner still advances. Wilhite now at third. So a runner 90 feet away for the Chico Heat. Joe Bath has the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. No RBI in the season so far for Bath. And that very well could change here. Fuller looks at third. Goes to the plate. The 1-2. Hit sharply to right center field, and there it is. Bath with a single, and another run comes home. It's 2-0 Chico.
Second baseman Cade Clower.
Cade Clower, the second baseman, will step in, the 9-hitter in the lineup, and Dante Gutierrez will go chat with Peyton Fuller. Rogue Regency Inn & Suites is the official host hotel of the Medford Rogues. Whether you're in Southern Oregon for a quick stay or a longer visit, Rogue Regency has a warm, casually elegant atmosphere with plenty to offer, including Chadwick's, the official sports bar of the Medford Rogues. Make sure you head to the post-game party headquarters, Chadwick's Pub and Sports Bar, and the Rogue Regency Inn & Suites. So back-to-back singles for Chico has them leading 2-0 here in the top of the first inning. This brings up the top of the order. Tokunaga lays down the bunt. Fuller fires to first, gets the out. 2 away in the top of the second inning.
Center fielder Tana Tokunaga.
So now Tokunaga steps in, as that was Cloward who actually laid down the bunt to move him over. Top of the order for the Heat. Tokunaga flied out to center in his first at-bat just 1 inning ago, as Chico has made it around the batting lineup here in the top of the second inning. 2-0 lead for the Heat. 3 hits and a Rogues error. Runner is off and moving. Gutierrez fires to third. Throw was good, but in time on the slide was Joe Bath. Stolen bag. Throw was a little bit inside the baseline. In foul territory, Jaden Hanna would have had to make a spectacular tag, and just an even better jump by Joe Bath. So a 1 ball, no strike count to Tokunaga. Here's the 1-0. Upstairs, 2 balls, no strikes. That's Bath's first stolen base of the season. First RBI, first stolen base. And the Heat have a 2-0 lead. The 1-1 from Fuller. Hit sharply to the shortstop, Delorfus, popped up to the belt. Nothing he could do. An error on Delorfus, and it's 3-0. So another run comes home. Both Lemmel and Wilhite scoring from RBI singles, and now Joe Bath stole from second to third, and then Tokunaga hit it hard. Jake Davidson, the catcher and the second batter in the lineup, will step in. 3-0 Chico here in the top of the second inning. 2 outs. Fuller checks over at first, nearly threw it away. Fuller goes to the plate. Called strike to Davidson. Davidson flew out to the first baseman De La Cruz, a pop-up in the infield in the first inning. Prior to that, hitting 200 in 4 games. Count is 0-1. 2 outs. Runner is off and moving. Lifted to shallow center field. DeLorfis going over and makes the catch directly behind second base. 3 runs, a couple hits, couple errors. 1 runner left on base. It's a 3-0 lead for the Chico Heat, where we'll go to the bottom of the second inning. We'll see what the Rogues have got in them. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com.
Let's head back to the ballpark. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, live on MedfordRogues.com.
Back here at Harry and David Field in Medford, Oregon. Nice to have you with us. 6, 7, 8 in the Medford Rogues lineup. Here in the bottom of the second, 3-0 lead for Chico. Dante Gutierrez sees the first pitch from Sherman. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Two singles for the Rogues in the top of the first. Nothing doing after that. 2 errors for the Rogues in the top of the second. Big contributing factor as the main reason why the Chico Heat got 3 runs. The 2-0 to Gutierrez. Looks outside. 3 balls, no strikes. Be sure to join us live all season long, live here on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Here's the 3-0 to Gutierrez. It's a strike on the outer half to the catcher from the University of San Diego in the left-handed batter's box. Count is 3-1. Here's the 3-1. Outside, ball 4. So bring up Josh Berman, the designated hitter. Berman hitting just .091 on the year through 4 games. Waiting to get hot here. That was Gutierrez's 4th walk of the season. Berman stepping into the right-handed batter's box with Gutierrez over at first. Bottom 2, no outs, and a 3-0 lead for Chico. Sherman looks at first and goes to the plate. Berman sees that one inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Jaden Hanna on deck. Sherman's next pitch, up and in. 2 balls, no strikes. Peyton Fuller for the Rogues has faced 11 batters, thrown 2 innings, allowed 2 earned runs of the 3 that have come home on 3 hits and a strikeout. Sherman, through the first inning, 1 hit, 2 walks, having faced 6 batters now. The 2-0 Hit sharply down the third base line, and that's going to go all the way to the wall. Gutierrez heading to third. Josh Hogan saying, let's go, giddy up, big fella. There's going to be a play at the plate, and the ball comes loose. Gutierrez slides in. An RBI double for Josh Berman, and the Rogues are on the board. This brings up Jaden Hanna, 3-1 lead for Chico. Now with Josh Berman getting hot at the right time over at second base. Scotty right on deck, the 9-hitter. Rogues able to get something here to start the bottom of the second. They are on the board. No better time than then for Josh Berman. Hit that one real hard, bounced past a diving third baseman, went all the way to the 325 sign and at the left field foul pole. Gutierrez really had to start chugging there around third. A risky call, and had Davidson been able to hold on, I think it would have gone the other way at home plate. Off the plate, 2 balls, no strikes. So a 3-1 lead for Chico, but the Rogues able to get one with no outs here in the bottom of the second. Just a beautiful night here at the ballpark. Believe the strike zone area was sold out tonight. Seats closest to the field. There are some bleacher tickets available, but the berm is filled in. Great crowd on hand. Fireworks tonight as well after the ball game. Catching the outside corner is that fastball from Sherman. Count is 2 balls and a strike. Thanks to all of you for joining us live on MedfordRogues.com. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group. Count 2-1 to the left-handed hitter Jaden Hanna. The righty deals up and away, 3-1. Sherman gets the sign from Davidson. From the stretch, looks at second, goes to the plate, the 3-1. Hanna bloops one over to short, going back and making the catch on the lazy line drive is Smutney for the first out of the inning. One almost looked like it had enough legs to drop, but just fell out from under him. Scotty Wright steps in. We didn't see Scotty in the starting lineup last night, but he did come in and pitch. Looked really good, too. Good command on the fastball. Starts tonight at second base. Was flawless for the Rogues in the field the first 3 games over at short. 1 out. That one's going to get by Davidson. Berman over at third. One ball, no strikes. So Josh Berman over at third. Scotty Wright at home plate. 1 out. Rogues trailing 3-1. Sherman looks at third and goes to the plate on the 1-0. Just a little bit high. 2 balls, no strikes. Berman's over at third after the RBI double that got the Rogues on the board, scoring Dante Gutierrez, who was motoring from first. Low and in, 3-0. 1 out. Bottom 2, 3-1 lead for the Chico Heat here in the bottom of the second. Here's the 3-0 from the right-hander. Called strike right down the heart of the plate. Three balls and a strike. Breeze still moving pretty good. Flag out in left center field is flapping over by the scoreboard. Here's the 3-1. Downstairs for ball 4. Runners on the corners. Sherman didn't really like that call. You can tell by the body language. This brings up Davis DeLorfis, the leadoff batter for the Medford Rogues, with runners on the corners and just one out. Big time now for DeLorfis, really searching for his presence in the lineup. One out. Bottom two. 3-1 lead for Chico. First pitch swinging, hit to right field, mid-right field. Berman gonna test the arm. A throw to the plate. It was cut off. Thrown behind the catcher now. And a run will score for the Rogues. And DeLorfis was able to move over Scotty right to second base. This will bring up Clay Valenzuela-Reese. So DeLorfis hits the sac fly. Berman scores the second run of the inning for the Medford Rogues. And it's a 3-2 lead for Chico now. Two away here in the bottom of the second. Valenzuela-Reese swings through. Count is 0-1. Sherman has a runner at second. The right-hander goes to the plate. Lifted in the air, down the right field line. Going to be a tough play. Who's got it? It's in foul territory and actually scoots out of play on a bounce. Tough angle for the first baseman to go at it. Wilhite had a track on it, but then got caught in the adventure. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning and a 3-2 lead for Chico. Sherman deals the 0-2. Hit hard down the first base line, but should be an easy play, and it is for Wilhite, and that ends the inning. The Rogues get 2. They'll strand 1, and they narrow the lead. It's now 3-2 here at Harry and David Field. We'll go to the top of the third inning. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, live on MedfordRogues.com.
Be sure to follow the Rogues on social media for giveaways, special behind-the-scenes features, and more. Like us on Facebook at Medford Rogues Baseball, and follow along on Twitter and Instagram at Medford Rogues.
Presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Top of the third, 3-2 lead for Chico. 3-4-5 in the lineup for the Heat. Jack Rodeville leading things off, sees one upstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Grants Pass defeated Medford 8-5 in American Legion Baseball, non-league game early in the season. Clackamas defeating West Lynn in the 6A state championship game. A special win for a member of Clackamas. Every so often, for the last couple of years, they've been trying to win that state championship for a little boy named Jake who passed away in a drowning accident. And Clackamas got it today, defeating West Lynn for the 6A state championship. So hearts out to the Clackamas community for an emotional win, to say the very least. An emotional win. 2 runs scored for the Rogues in the bottom of the second inning. It's 3-2. Swinging through the fastball is Rodeville. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Peyton Fuller cruising here, at least in this at-bat, trying to get that command down. He had it in the first. A couple balls hit sharply in the second inning. One that was really difficult to handle for DeLorphis over at short. He's going to get another shot here. This one bounces right into the glove. DeLorphis to first. Easy play for the first out of the inning. (6-3) in the scorer's book, and Chris Smutney steps in. Thanks to all of you for joining us live on MedfordRogues.com. You can comment on the channel if you want to keep it appropriate. If not, we're going to report you. Don't know what his problem is. 1 out here in the top of the third. First pitch down and in for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to Smutney. He struck out to end the first inning in the 4 spot for the Chico Heat. Here's the 1-0 from Fuller. He deals downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. Again, thanks to Fred Meyer for supplying 500 cupcakes for Rogues fans and Chico Heat fans making the trip, driving up. First 500 receive cupcakes courtesy of our friends at Fred Meyer for the 5th birthday celebration here tonight for the Medford Rogues. The 2-0 from Fuller, up and in, 3 balls, no strikes. Now, Fred Meyer also offers specially priced family ticket packages for each Sunday home game. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 fountain drinks, and 4 souvenir baseballs for just $44. You get them at the 3 local Rogue Valley Fred Meyers, as the 3-0 is upstairs for ball 4. A 1-out walk here in the top of the third. Don't miss out on the fun. It's Fred Meyer Family Fun Sundays. That's tomorrow, 6:35 first pitch here at Harry and David Field. Bailey Zimmer led off the last inning with a deep shot to left, but Valenzuela Reese able to track it and make the catch. Runner at first, 1 out, top 3. One away. Smutney at first. Peyton Fuller goes to the plate. It's downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Again, you can always join us on MedfordRogues.com for all the ticket needs you might have. Flex packs, season tickets. You can still get some. More information on our patio rentals. Also get the full schedule, promotional nights. Find out when you can see the Star Wars night. That's a good one. With fireworks and special Star Wars jerseys. Lifted to shallow left field. Coming in is Clay Valenzuela Reese, a long distance. He makes the catch for out number 2. So bring up Cole Lemmel. Now tonight I'm wearing a Star Wars jersey, but it is indeed not the Star Wars jersey that will be worn on Saturday, June 17th. You will just have to join us on Medford Rogues Baseball on Facebook to see the unveiling of the new Star Wars jersey for the game that night. 2 outs, top 3, 3-2 lead for Chico. Runner is off from first. Fuller goes to the plate. Gutierrez fires from the knees, and he's late. Sliding in safely is Smutney. Not an easy shot there for Dante Gutierrez. Stolen base for Smutney, and Lemmel steps in after a double the last inning. He scored the first run of the ball game for Chico. Count nothing in 1. Just low and in, 1-1. Marcus Wilhite on deck had an RBI single last inning to drive in the first run of the ball game. Count 1-1, 2 outs. Here in the top of the third, Fuller goes to the plate. That one hit hard up the middle. It's going to get through, and the stop sign is on from the third base coach and the manager for Chico, Fred Ludwig. So runners on the corners with 2 outs. They held him over at third. That's Smutny at third, Lemmel at first. That one just getting over the glove on a high chop over Peyton Fuller's left arm. Marcus Wilhite steps in, had that RBI single in the last inning, then also came around to score courtesy of another RBI single from Joe Bath. 2 outs, runners on first and third, a 3-2 lead for Chico. They're hungry and looking for more. Nice evening here at Harry and David Field. Great crowd on hand and little breeze coming across our crowd mic. You can probably hear it at home. 2 outs. Fuller from the stretch goes to the plate. Just outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Fuller, an Ashland High School product, a University of Oregon commit. Excited to see what he can do for the Ducks program, Pac-12 baseball. Next one outside to Wilhite. Runners on the corners. It's Lemmel at first, Smutny at third. 2 balls, no strikes. The count to Wilhite. Fuller from the stretch. Runner is off from first to second. Wilhite swings through. Gutierrez fakes. Count is 2-1. Stolen base for Lemmel. Runners on second and third. Again, congratulations to the North Medford softball program winning a state championship earlier today. So St. Mary's and North Medford. St. Mary's winning a baseball championship yesterday, and North Medford winning a softball championship today. Crater falling in the 5A baseball state championship to Churchill 5-1. The 2-1 from Fuller with 2 outs and 2 on. Upstairs, 3 balls and a strike. Balloons around the ballpark tonight. Festive feel in the air for the 5th birthday celebration of Medford Rogues. The 3-1 from Fuller upstairs for ball 4. Bases are loaded. This will bring up Joe Bath, the third baseman, had that RBI single, and then eventually came around to score as well after an error allowed Tanner Tokunaga to reach. And Christian Coronado, the pitching coach, will come on out and chat with his right-hander. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball on MedfordRogues.com.
At People's Bank, we know that banking doesn't have to be complicated. Good banking happens when we put people first. Here at People's Bank, we're for the people with big dreams. We're here for families working on creating a better life for their children. We're for businesses investing locally to create a better community we're proud to call home. This is Ken Troutman, president of People's Bank. When we put people first, families grow stronger, businesses thrive, and our community flourishes. People's Bank, we put people first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Back here at Harry and David Field. Couple scores from BG Gold. Arizona defeating Delaware 6-5 in 12 innings. Stanford over BYU 9-1. San Diego State over UCLA in 13, 3-2 final. Houston over Baylor 17-3. Holy Cross getting a win over Nebraska 7-4. Oral Roberts falling to Oklahoma State. Wake Forest over West Virginia. Vanderbilt over Clemson 9-4. And Auburn over Tennessee Tech 5-3. First pitch swinging for Joe Bath goes right to the center fielder, and Connor Lowry makes the catch. They strand, the bases loaded. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 3 left on for Chico in the top of the 3rd inning. NC State 5-4 over Kentucky. Virginia 6-3 over Dallas Baptist, and Henley falling in the 4A baseball state championship to LeGrand 8-5. The Hornets do not get a repeat. And what a great program, however, for Tim Cleland over the hill in Klamath Falls. Congratulations to Henley Baseball on another great season. We will step aside. It's 3-2 Chico, bottom of the third. Coming up next, you're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. Presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball on MedfordRogues.com. Johnny De La Cruz leads things off here in the bottom of the third inning. Brian Schnee with you, our producer and reporter tonight. Jonathan Kerman also keeping you up to date on the live stat link in your description. Live on the YouTube page. We thank you all for joining us here live on MedfordRogues.com. The count 1-1 to Johnny De La Cruz. The Rogues would like to thank Rogue Credit Union for their continued support of Medford Rogues Baseball and the surrounding Southern Oregon community. The Rogue Credit Union staff is actually on our Seven Feathers Triple Play patio tonight, inside to De La Cruz 3-1. Our friends at Rogue Credit Union are striking out hunger. Rogue Credit Union is donating $10 to Access every time a Rogues pitcher strikes out a player from the opposing team during a home game. Rogue Credit Union, living local, it's a Rogue thing. Over the heart of the plate for a strike. Timeout called by Johnny De La Cruz. He steps out to adjust the gloves. Game 2 of 3 between Chico and Medford, in the first time that these two teams meet in the 2017 Great West League season. Hit hard and a high hop over to the shortstop. Low throw and unable to pick it is the first baseman, Will Height. An error on Chris Smutney. The first bounce went off of the mound, jutted towards the deeper hole of the shortstop position. Then the ball popped up almost towards Smutney's face. He was able to glove it and fire to first, but just short. So a difficult play for Marcus Wilhite. One runner on with no outs here in the bottom of the third, and the Rogues trail by 1. So bring up Jake Helwig. Helwig steps in. Swings on the first pitch, that one right at the left fielder, Jake Rodeville, and he makes the catch over the shoulder for the first out of the inning here in the bottom of the third. So bring up Connor Lowry. This brings up Connor Lowry, ended the first inning. On a ground out to third base. Here with a runner on and one out in the bottom of the third. Lowry looks at the first pitch, a strike from Sherman. Count is 0-1. Sherman comes to a stretch. And sets, deals inside. Count is 1-1, nearly hit him. Runner over at first is Johnny De La Cruz, getting there on an error by the shortstop. Hit the ball hard up the middle. De La Cruz motored down the first base line. Count 1-1 to Lowry. De La Cruz off from second. Lowry puts it in play past a diving third baseman, and De La Cruz thought about maybe stretching it, but that one hit sharply, and Connor Lowry hit that one good. Runners on first and second for Dante Gutierrez. Gutierrez walked, but came around to score as the leadoff batter in the second inning. Gutierrez, the everyday catcher at this point for the Medford Rogues. First to get in here to Medford, and he's got a lot of the innings. One away. Runners on first and second with one away here in the bottom of the third. Gutierrez. First pitch from Sherman downstairs. 1-0. Rogues trailing by one here in game 2 of 3 in this series between Chico and Medford. Presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. This is Medford Rogues Baseball live on MedfordRogues.com. Sherman, the count at 1-0, looks at second and goes to the plate. In there for a strike. Rowdy down the first base line, talking to some fans, taking some pictures, signing some autographs. Just a great crowd on hand here tonight. Count is 1-1. Sherman sets. Goes to the plate. Downstairs 2-1. Sherman has thrown a lot of pitches. We'll try to get an approximate number for you. According to those live stats, Sherman approaching 50, just shy. 2 balls and a strike. And then the pacing slows down a bit. Thanks to all of you for joining us live on MedfordRogues.com. You can also join us on our social media platforms at Medford Rogues on Twitter and Instagram, Medford Rogues Baseball on Facebook. Well outside to Gutierrez. The count is now 3-1 with 1 out. De La Cruz at second, Lowry at first. Thanks to our reporter and producer, Jonathan Kerman, for making sure we sound good tonight. Count is 3-1. Ball 4. Second time tonight, Gutierrez has walked. The bases are loaded for Josh Berman.
Tonight's designated hitter, Josh Berman.
And Berman hit it hard. Right down the third base line. His last at bat, an RBI double. Needed that to kind of break out here in this early part of his Medford Rogues season. 1 out. A 3-2 lead for Chico here in the bottom of the third on a beautiful Saturday evening in Medford. Bases loaded. De La Cruz at third, Hellwig flying out, and then Lowry got on. And he's over at second. Gutierrez at first. First pitch inside and in. Inside and up, rather, to Josh Berman. Count is 1-0. Because inside and in would make just too much sense, right? Berman swings through the next. Count is 1-1.
Could Joel Cartwright please go to the merchandise shack, please? Joel Cartwright.
Quick mound visit for Chico. Discussion with shortstop Chris Smutney. And Jake Davidson, the catcher, also came out. Bases loaded, bottom 3, 3-2, Chico on top. Sherman checks the sign from Davidson. Comes to a set. The right-hander goes to the plate. Berman lifts it to right field. Staring into the sun is Lemmel. Catch is made. They will fire over to third to try to get a tagging runner. And a run will score for the Rogues to tie the ball game at 3 here in the bottom of the third. And also sliding in over at third is Connor Lowry. So runners on the corners. Berman gets an RBI sac fly. Second RBI tonight for Josh Berman, the Medford zone, former Medford Mustang. Jaden Hanna will step in, the 8-hitter in the Rogues lineup. Update for Oregon softball. LSU leading 2-1 over the Ducks. 2 outs. Runners on the corners here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. One ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Hanna at the plate. Bouncing in front. Davidson keeps it in front. 2 balls, no strikes. Just a great night here at the ballpark for the 5th birthday. Got to see it to believe it, but some of the intern crew just full-on sprint, trying to make things happen down there. Shout out to our game day staff for making everything possible here at Harry and David Field. The fans would not have the experience if it weren't for the people wearing the red shirts tonight. Not no way, not no how. Hanna lifts it to shallow center field, but going over and making the catch is Smutney as the Rogues strand 2 runners on to end the bottom of the 3rd. They do get a run, though. However, we're tied at 3. We'll go to the top of the 4th inning. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. Welcome back to Harry and David Field. First pitch swinging through to Cade Cloward. Hit it over to the shortstop, Davis. DeLorfis makes the play over to first for the first out of the top of the 4th. Nice to have you back with us on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group. Tanner Tokunaga, the center fielder and the leadoff batter for Chico, steps into the right-handed batter's box. Fuller back out there for the Rogues. Tied at 3 here in the top of the 4th. First pitch low and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Fuller, full windup. Up and in. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the 2-0. Downstairs, 3-0. Here's the 3-0 from Fuller. Right down the heart of the plate for a strike. Fouling it away. The count is 3-2. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Hit hard to right center field, going over about 5 steps to make the catch is the right fielder, Jake Hellwig, for the second out of the inning. 2 away here in the top of the 4th. Jake Davidson, 0 for 2. Steps in. He ended the bottom of the second with a fly out to center field. Two outs. First pitch away to Jake Davidson. Here in the top of the 4th inning, we're tied at 3. Fuller back out there. Hitting that one on a line on the 1-0. Right to Connor Lowry is Davidson, and he makes the catch for a quick top of the 4th. We're still tied at 3. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. Scotty Wright steps in to lead off the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch is a strike. Tanner Clark, the new right-hander from Folsom, California, is in there to begin the 4th. Second pitch to Wright is low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Long set, full windup for Clark. The 1-1, fouled straight back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball stays upstairs. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just off the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the 9-hitter, Scotty Wright. Here's the 3-2. Wright hits it hard to left field, but Rodeville is right there to make the catch with ease. Maybe took a step to his left, and that was about it.
Next up to bat for the Rogue shortstop, Davis DeLorphis.
Leadoff batter Davis DeLorphis steps in with 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th. High bounce over to the shortstop, pulling the first baseman off the bag. He kept his foot on, supposedly. Didn't look like it from here, but that was closer than it needed to be.
Next up to bat for the Rogue, left fielder Clay Valenzuela-Reese.
Valenzuela-Reese looks at the first one, 1 ball, no strikes. Also hit to the shortstop on 1 bounce. Smutney goes to the right, makes the throw. Quick 3 up, quick 3 down. We are through 4. We're tied at 3. We're going to the top of the 5th inning. It's Medford Rogues baseball. Live on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts.
It's easier than ever to get your tickets to check out the Medford Rogues this summer. Visit MedfordRogues.com and click the Tickets tab to pick your seats for the next night out at Harry and David Field.
3-4-5 for the Chico Heat here in the top of the 5th, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. This is Medford Rogues baseball, live on MedfordRogues.com. Great to have you with us tonight. The sun has set, or at least gone behind a cloud. Other than that, a really good crowd here tonight. For those of you back home, wherever home may be, thanks for joining us and making us a part of your Saturday evening. Fuller deals a first pitch strike to Rodeville, and we are underway here in the top of the 5th. Fuller gets the sign from Gutierrez and goes to the plate. Rodeville fends that off, fouling it straight back and up over the head of Gutierrez. Count is 0-2. Rogues would like to thank our friends at Rogue Credit Union, also spending time on the Seven Feathers Triple Play patio tonight. The Rogues, of course, Love pairing with those that make Medford Rogues baseball and the surrounding Southern Oregon community even better, and our friends at Rogue Credit Union are doing just that by striking out hunger. Tough hop over to third for Hannah, fields and fires to first for the first out of the inning. Now, the Rogue Credit Union is actually donating $10 to Access each time a Rogues pitcher strikes at a player from the opposing team during a home game. So Rogue Credit Union doing right by striking out hunger, among many other things. Rogue Credit Union, living local, it's a Rogue thing. Chris Mutney will step in. First pitch to Smutney. Out of the zone, 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the 1-0 from Fuller. Hit on a rocket over to Delorfus, stays down, fires to first. Great play by the left side of the infield. Hannah and Delorfus getting the first 2 outs. This brings up Bailey Zimmer.
Designated hitter Bailey Zimmer.
2 outs, top 5. Tied at 3. Fuller. First pitch to Zimmer, low and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Fans enjoying some noisemakers here. Right in front of our crowd mic. Doesn't get much better than that. That's authentic for you. We're not staging those sounds on our 5th birthday. Second pitch down low. 2 balls, no strikes. I got to get me one of those for our live broadcast here. Why can't I get hooked up with one? I missed out on the cupcakes, too. 2 balls and a strike to Bailey Zimmer. Count is 2-1. 2 outs. And Fuller hits him. Tied at 3 here in the top of the 5th. And Zimmer gets on with a 2-out hit by pitch. Cole Lemmel steps in. Runner over at first. 2 outs. Lemmel looks at the first one. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the 1-0. Called strike inside corner, and the count is 1-1. Fuller checks over at first, nothing doing. The count is 1-1. Great night here at the ballpark with all sorts of fans, all sorts of ages as well. From our youngest fans to some of our older fans. Thanks for coming out to Harry and David Field. The 1-1 lifted into the infield. De La Cruz is there for the easy out. 1 left on, no runs, and no hits, and no errors by the Rogues in the field. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. We're tied at 3, Medford and Chico. Live on MedfordRogues.com. Johnny De La Cruz leads off the bottom of the 5th inning. We're tied at 3. 4 hits for Chico, 3 for Medford. 2 errors for the Rogues, just 1 for the Heat. And De La Cruz looks at the first pitch from Clark. Inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Tonight, officially our 5th birthday celebration. The Rogues are 5 years old. Picked a good night for it. Here on June the 3rd with fireworks tonight. We're back at it tomorrow, 6:35, first pitch with the pregame show, live here at 6:25 on MedfordRogues.com. Presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group. Heroes is a new place for gourmet subs, wraps, salads, and burgers. People are really talking about how Heroes is the best sandwich shop in Medford. Come give us a try. Eat like a hero. 2 balls, 2 strikes to De La Cruz as he steps back in the right-handed batter's box. Ready matchup. Here's the 2-2. De La Cruz late on the fastball, hits it hard down the first base side, blocked and tossed by the first baseman, Will Height, to Clark, and he makes the play. Close one at first for out number 1. Brings up Jake Helwig. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first and flew out to left. Hits this one high and deep to dead center field, but nowhere near deep enough. First pitch by Helwig results in an out from Tokunaga. So 2 quick outs. Connor Lowry steps in. First pitch outside, 1 ball, no strikes to Lowry. Clark, quick to work, same result, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Clark dealing that one also outside, 3-0. 2 away. We haven't really seen anything hit overly deep here at Harry and David Field to begin this season. No one's hit a home run here. I'm not sure when that will happen, but you're going to have to get a hold of one. Count 3-1. Ball 4 for Lowry. 2-out walk, bringing up Dante Gutierrez.
Number 20, Dante Gutierrez.
This brings up Dante Gutierrez. Scored in the second. Back up here with Lowry at first. And 2 outs. We're tied at 3. Inside, 1 ball, no strikes. So the Rogues are on the road for the first road trip of the 2017 summer season, visiting the Yuba City Bears at the Calusa Casino Stadium in Marysville for 4 games. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Lincoln, an off day Monday. Off-speed pitch fools Gutierrez. The count is 1-1. Welcome, Steve, tuning in from Sunnyvale, California tonight. Thanks for joining us live on MedfordRogues.com. Gutierrez hits one over to second, bounces right into the glove of Cloward, and he tosses to first for the final out of the 5th inning. Tied at 3, top 6 coming up. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com.
sure to follow the Rogues on social media for giveaways, special behind-the-scenes features, and more. Like us on Facebook at Medford Rogues Baseball and follow along on Twitter and Instagram at Medford Rogues.
Top of the sixth, Peyton Fuller back out there facing the 7-hitter in the Chico Heat lineup, Marcus Wilhite. We are tied at 3. The 3 runs for Chico coming in the top of the second inning. Wilhite swinging through the fastball. The count is 1-1. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. Tomorrow night at Fred Meyer Family Fun Sunday. 4 tickets for $44. And it's more than just the tickets. It's hot dogs, fountain drinks, and souvenir baseballs. Thanks to our friends at Fred Meyer. All you got to do is go get those tickets at your local Fred Meyer. And you've got the Fred Meyer Family Fun Sunday hookup. 4 for $44. Works pretty good that way. The 2-1, low and in. 3 balls and a strike. Fuller looks at Gutierrez and will deal the 3-1. It's on its way. Called strike at the belt. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Wilhite scored in the second inning. Fuller winds up and kicks for the 3-2. Wilhite hits it hard to Jake Helwig and right there for the catch. For out number 1. Joe Bath coming to the plate. Mary's Barbecue, tender, juicy, slow smoked meat, homemade sides, and friendly service. It's easy for anyone in Southern Oregon to get to. Mary's Barbecue at 841 East Pine Street in Central Point. Follow them on Facebook or their website, marysbbqplace.com. Bath looks at the first one. Below the kneecaps, 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the 1-0 from Fuller. Bounced it. 2 balls, no strikes. About 81 pitches for Fuller tonight. I think we got the math correct. 81 pitches for Peyton Fuller as he works into the 6th inning. With 1 out, count 2 balls, no strikes to Joe Bath. Fuller has surrendered 4 hits, facing his 26th batter of the night, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Bath hits that one sharply down the right field line. It's going to drop, kicks off the fence. Helwig chases it all the way into the corner. Bath stands up with a 1-out double. Fifth hit allowed by Fuller in 5 1/3. Fans, I can't tell you how many times we've had to replace a window here at the ballpark because of a foul ball or a stray fly ball. When we need our windows fixed or replaced, the only team we trust are the folks at Bill's Glass, with locations in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass. Bill's Glass is the fastest and most affordable glass service in Southern Oregon, and a proud provider of Medford Rogues Baseball right here on MedfordRogues.com. Presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group. 1 out, runner at second. First pitch to Cloward is a strike. Count 0-1. Count is 0-1. That one hit high and right at the left fielder, Clay Valenzuela-Reese for the out. Maybe took 2 steps backwards toward the advanced air and metal sign, directly under the scoreboard in left field. Dimensions of the ballpark, for those of you interested: 400 dead center, 407 in the power alleys. The left field lighting post is at 339. The corner is 325. 39 over in the right field light post. It plays pretty deep, though, especially on a night like tonight. 2 outs, runner at second. Tanner Tokunaga fouls away the first pitch. Count is 0-1. Good example there. Having to replace any sort of a window. Fortunately, we've got Bill's glass for that. Count is 0-1. Fuller looks at second. The runner is there. The 0-1. Tokunaga thought about the bunt, pulls it back. Count is 1-1 with 2 outs, tied at 3 here in the top of the 6th inning. 5 hits for Chico, 3 for Medford, 2 errors for the Rogues, 1 for the Heat. Here in game 2 of 3. Close one there, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pardon, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Tokunaga, the leadoff batter, in here for the top of the 6th. There's a 2-1. Tokunaga fouls it away on the hit and run. Bath was going to clearly make it to third in time. If that one could have chopped up and over Jaden Hanna, that would have broken the tie. We are tied at 3. Here in the top of the 6th, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Fuller from the stretch has a runner at second. The 2-2 pitch coming. The leg kick and delivery. Tokunaga swings through for strike 3. Fuller works himself out of a mini jam. Just 1 hit in the inning for Chico. We're through the top of the 6th inning. We'll go to the bottom half. We're tied at 3. The Rogues back up here when we return in just a moment. 7-8-9 for Medford. Leading off would be Josh Berman. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. Bottom of the 6th inning, Josh Berman steps in, 7-8-9. Berman had a double, resulting in an RBI. The first run of the game coming around would be Dante Gutierrez off the bat of Berman in the 2nd inning. Then Berman came around and scored, also ripping the first pitch hard, but right at the third baseman. Picked up by Joe Bath and fired to first for the first pitch and the first out of the bottom of the 6th. So this brings up Jaden Hanna, the 8-hitter, third baseman. Has flown out to the shortstop both times tonight. 1 away, tied at 3 here in the bottom of the 6th. Just 3 hits for the Rogues tonight. But 2 errors as well. The Rogues had 7 last night. Were flawless the night before. but 7 last night. Just not a good performance in the field. And had a lot of free bases. That was something that Josh Hogan that talked about after the game. Things looking a lot better here tonight, especially in front of a great crowd here at Harry and David Field for the Rogues' 5th birthday celebration. Fireworks to come after the game. The count 0-1. Sherman goes to the plate. Rather, Clark. That one chopped short. Rather, third. Cut off by Joe Bath, and he fires to first for the out. It was going towards the shortstop Smutney, but Bath came over and cut it off. It was a slow dribbler, and Hanna gets thrown out. So 2 straight plays made by the third baseman, Joe Bath. This brings up the 9-hitter, Scotty Wright. Again, interesting about Scotty, who has actually played in the shortstop position for 3 games here for Medford in the early part of this summer season. And he lays down a bunt. Going to be a tight play, picked up on the bare hand, and no throw from Joe Bath, who was playing back at normal depth. And Scotty Wright catches him snoozing here with 2 outs and has an infield single. Great awareness there by the 9-hitter.
Next up to bat for the Rogues shortstop, Davis DeLorfis.
This brings up DeLorfis, the leadoff batter. DeLorfis 0 for 3 tonight. Wright at first. Wright is off and cruising down the second. Strong throw by Davidson. It actually caroms off of Wright, and he's in there for a stolen base. Oregon State Beavers on top 2-0 in their meeting with the Yale Bulldogs. Rumor has it they're rocking at Goss Stadium up in Corvallis. 2 balls, no strikes. To DeLorfis, runner at second. 2 outs. Low and away, 3 balls, no strikes from the right-hander Clark. Here in the bottom of the 6th, we're tied at 3. Three and 0. Called strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. Two outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Rogues trying to break the tie. And ball 4 issued to DeLorfis. Runners on first and second base for Clay Valenzuela-Reese, the 2-hitter in the lineup. I believe that's the 6th walk issued by Heat pitching tonight. 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Valenzuela in. Swings at the first pitch. Hit over to the shortstop. Scooped up, fired to first, and the Rogues will strand 2. We're tied at 3 after 6. We'll go to the top of the 7th inning. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. Presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Peyton Fuller exits after 6 innings. Fuller surrendered 2 earned runs. 3 came around to score total. 5 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. He faced 28 batters. On in relief is Aaron Hutchinson. Has thrown 5 innings so far this young season. Made 2 appearances. Had 7 strikeouts. Picked up a save. Allowed just 1 hit. Has a 0 ERA. Hutch. Hometown Phoenix, Oregon. Former Medford Mustang. The best part about Aaron Hutchinson is he actually didn't pitch at all last collegiate season. Was out with an injury. Hadn't pitched in over a year and then came back and was able to really just hold these guys. And even picked up a save in the first night for the Rogues against the Yuba City Bears in their season opener. Runs the count to 1-1. Here in the top of the 7th inning to Jake Davidson. The right-hander deals to the righty batter. Davidson lifts it to shallow center field. Underneath is Connor Lowry. And an easy catch for out number 1.
Left fielder Jake Rodeville.
So Jack Rodeville steps in, the left fielder. 1 for 3 tonight. Had a single in the first and has grounded out in his last 2 plate appearances. 1 away after the flyout from Jake Davidson. Hutchinson looks at the signs from Gutierrez. And the right-hander goes to the plate. Inside part of the strike zone for Mike Carr to signal. Count 0-1. Rodeville had like a half check swing there. Wasn't sure if he was going to break the plane. The count 0-1. Hutch deals. Bender in the dirt. Count 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Inside, 2 balls and a strike. Last night, Chico scored 1 in the top of the 10th inning, and the Rogues couldn't scrap anything across. The Heat winning 5, 4, and 10 innings. Curveball in there for a strike. The count is 2-2. Hutchinson, wind up and the deal on a 2-2. Swinging and missing is Rodeville for strike number 3.
Shortstop Chris Smutney.
The Rogues want to thank Rogue Credit Union for their continued support of Medford Rogues baseball and the surrounding Southern Oregon community. Our friends at Rogue Credit Union are striking out hunger. Rogue Credit Union is donating $10 to Access each time a Rogues pitcher strikes out a player from the opposing team during a home game, like Aaron Hutchinson did right there. Rogue Credit Union, living local. It's a Rogue thing. Chris Mutney steps in with 2 outs. First pitch low and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Hutch catches the sign and deals. Inside, 2 balls, no strikes. Tied at 3 here in the top of the 7th inning. Count 2-0. Swinging through that one. Making the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the 2-1 from Hutchinson. Outside corner for a sneaky strike. The count is 2-2. That one just catching the black. Next one in the dirt. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Remember to follow us on our Twitter account and Instagram as well, at Medford Rogues. We just put up a picture of the things that are going to go boom. The boxes out in right center field. Western display fireworks. Broken bat over to the shortstop. DeLorfus doesn't get enough on it. And the official score is going to give him a hit on a slow roller, broken bat, and DeLorfus
Designated hitter Bailey Zimmer.
just couldn't get it there. Slow roller enough where they will give him a base hit. That's the 6th hit for Chico. And Smutney is at first. Bailey Zimmer steps up. Again, fans, you're going to want to make sure you join us tomorrow night here at the ballpark. Yet another meeting with the Chico Heat. 6:35 first pitch, and if you can't make it, we are here with you live on MedfordRogues.com with a 6:25 pregame show. First pitch swinging, hit hard to the left center field gap. Going back and making the catch is Connor Lowry on a good run to left center. That one was hit right at the 407 pole, and Lowry tracked it down. So the Heat strand one, and we are midway through the 7th. We're tied at 3. We'll go to the bottom half. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. Rogues fans, if you're looking for a used car or truck, why not head to the dealer that will give you the best quality vehicle at the best price. Crater Lake Ford uses real-time tracking software to research similar makes within hundreds of miles to give you the best car shopping experience while saving you time and money. Crater Lake Ford, right cars and trucks, right prices, right experiences. Visit CraterLakeFord.com. Bottom of the 7th inning. Brian Coffey comes in, the left-hander for Chico. Facing Johnny De La Cruz, who fouls off the first pitch, looks at the next one in the dirt. The count is 1-1. De La Cruz hits the 1-1 directly at the center fielder. Tokunaga makes the catch. First out of the bottom of the 7th.
Up to bat, right fielder, Jake Hellweg.
Jake Hellwig steps in. The first pitch is a strike from Coffey. Count 0-1. Hellwig swings and fouls that one down the right side. The count is now 0-2. Thanks to Juan, James, Neil, all checking in recently here on MedfordRogues.com. Here's the 0-2. Hellwig swings through, ball on the dirt, picked up, fired, down to first for the strikeout completed.
Next up to bat for the Medford Rogues, Connor
So 2 outs for Connor Lowry. Lowry did it in the third. He had a single. He actually reached on a walk with 2 outs as well in the fifth. First pitch downstairs to Lowry, 1 ball, no strikes. With 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Coffey deals the 1-0. Lowry hits it hard, and it's going to drive in or land in rather, in front of the left fielder, Jake Rodeville, for a 2-out single.
Next up to bat for the Medford Rogues catcher, Dante Gutierrez.
This brings up Dante Gutierrez. Scored the first run of the ball game for the Medford Rogues. Dante getting a workout behind home plate. Home plate umpire Mike Carr signaling to the upstairs booth that there are 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, there are 2 away with a runner on first. Fly out for De La Cruz and a strikeout for Jake Helwig. Connor Lowry at first. After that 2-out single, so Gutierrez sees the first pitch in the strike zone. Count 0-1. Coffey checks over at first. Nothing going there. Tied at 3 here in the bottom of the 7th. The 1-1 driven up the middle by Gutierrez. And we've got 2 runners on here in the bottom of the 7th. Back-to-back singles for the Medford Rogues, and Lowry at second, Gutierrez at first for Josh Berman. Berman had a sac fly in the third, had an RBI double in the second. Grounded out in his last at-bat. Coffey made his first appearance against the Medford Rogues. That was his first appearance of the season. That was last night. An earned run and a hit. Also had a strikeout in 2/3 of an inning. 2 outs. Berman looks at the first one. Belt high strike. Count 0-1. Runners on first and second. Gutierrez, the University of San Diego product, and Blackhawk Junior College product. Connor Lowry at second. Berman looks at that one away, 1-1. Just a great night here at the ballpark. The sun has officially set. Beautiful orangey pink sunset over the left side of the ballpark. We've got a great turnout here tonight for the Rogues' 5th birthday celebration. Fireworks tonight. They're prepping them out in right center field. The 1-1. Berman hits it hard, but right at the third baseman, Joe Bath, and the Rogues strand 2. Tied at 3. We're going to the top of the 8th inning. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. Rogues Baseball is brought to you by Claudio Alvarez Construction and Restoration. Founded over 2 decades ago, Claudio Alvarez Construction and Restoration are there when you need them the most. Whether it's fire, storm, or water damage, the Alvarez Restoration team is ready and willing to bring your home back to how it used to be. We like to say when bad stuff happens, we make good stuff happen. Find us at alvarezrestoration.com or by calling 541-727-7340. Top of the 8th inning. Bailey Zimmer, the designated hitter, leads things off. Rather, Cole Lemmel, the right fielder, will lead things off. First pitch from Aaron Hutchinson, right in there for a strike. Count is 0-1. Second pitch, low and away, 1-1. Hit high down the first base side. De La Cruz gives chase, but it goes into the grass berm for the second strike at the at-bat for Lemmel. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Aaron Hutchinson back out for more work in the top of the 8th. Here's the 1-2, plunked him. And Lemmel didn't like that. Slow to walk down the first base side. Got plunked right between the numbers. Hutch isn't someone that misses quite often. Lives right around the zone. Has been more than effective for the Medford Rogues. Actually leads the team in strikeouts in the early part of the year with a perfect ERA. Marcus Wilhite will step in. No outs, runner on first. We're tied at 3. Chico won the game last night, 5-4 in extras. Hutchinson fires over to first, nothing doing. We're back with you tomorrow night, 6:35 first pitch, 6:25 pregame show here live on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Bunt laid down. First baseman De La Cruz tosses over to Scotty Wright, who covers for the force play at first, but they will advance Lemmel to second.
Third baseman Joe Bath.
So Joe Bath steps in. Had a double in the 6th inning, but was stranded after Cloward flew out and Tokunaga struck out to end the inning. Now Lemmel at second, Bath at the plate. Hutch from the stretch. Just outside, 1-0. Hutch looks at second and goes to the plate. Slides just off. 2 balls, no strikes. The 2-0. Hutch looks at second, steps off. Following the Chico series, the next time the Medford Rogues are home is Tuesday, June 13th, with a 3-game series with the Portland Pickles. The 2-0 upstairs, 3 balls, no strikes. So the Rogues are gone for 7 days, Monday through Sunday of next week, this upcoming week rather, and then the following week back here Tuesday through Sunday against Portland and Lincoln. The Pickles and the Potters coming to town. The 3-0 just outside. And Hutch even got the hands out for a reaction. And Christian Coronado going to use this time to make a quick mound visit. Runners on first and second with 1 away. Located just 5 minutes from the I-5 in Grants Pass, Hellgate Jet Boat Excursions is the only place you need to go for the ultimate Rogue River experience. jet through historic Hellgate Canyon, lounge at the exclusive OK Corral, and feast on an all-you-can-eat homemade barbecue. Visit www.hellgate.com to book your experience today.
Your car is blocking someone. Again, a Chevy truck license plate 657EB.
The entire infield comes in to join Christian Coronado, wearing number 35 for the Medford Rogues as pitching coach. Coronado, a former product of Cal State Fullerton. Just the dominant baseball program that is. Now Coronado a coach, or at least working on it here with the Medford Rogues. He's coached some camps down in the SoCal area. Comes up here for the summer. Cloward swings at the first pitch, stepped over at second, fired to first. They get the out at second. And Cloward reaches at first. Now a runner's on first and third because Lemmel was off from second base.
Center fielder Tanner Tokunaga.
So now Tokunaga steps in. So Bath walked. Cloward sacrifices and advances on the fielder's choice. Tokunaga steps up with 2 outs, runners on the corners. Hutchinson looks at the sign. Long hold, steps off. Two outs, top of the 8th. Tied at 3. High chopper back to Hutchinson. He fires to first, and we are out of the top of the 8th inning. So the Chico Heat don't score, but they strand 2 on the bags. We're still tied at 3. We'll go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. Bottom of the 8th inning, Taylor Frost will come in and hit for Jaden Hanna as the 8th batter in the Medford Rogues lineup. The leadoff hitter in the bottom of the 8th. 8-9-1 for the Medford Rogues. We are tied at 3. Rogues and Chico here in the middle game of a 3-game series tonight. Brian Coffey's first pitch, downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the 1-0 from the left-hander. Frost swings at it. Hits sky high to the second baseman. Cloward underneath for the catch and the first out of the inning. Scotty Wright, the 9-hitter, steps in.
Next up for the Rogues, second baseman Scotty Wright.
Beavers up to a 4-0 lead over Yale right now after a home run. One out here in the bottom of the 8th inning, tied at 3. Wright fouls off the first pitch, count 0-1. Next pitch out of the zone, count is 1-1. Two balls and a strike to Scotty Wright. Presented by the Mike Newman Group, your local home experts. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 from the left-hander Coffee. Hit hard by Scotty Wright into left field for a 1-out single. So bring up the top of the lineup, Davis Delorfis. One out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tied at 3 with Chico. Rogues have Scotty Wright over at first. Delorfis walked in the 6th. Delorfis swings at the first pitch, fouls it straight back and out of play. Count is 0-1. Fans going for that loose baseball. Haven't seen many of them tonight despite the huge crowd on hand here at Harry and David Field. Count is 0-1. 1 out. Delorfis lifts the next one down the right field line, out of play. The count is quickly 0-2 to the University of Utah product, Davis Delorfis. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner on first. That is Scotty Wright, who ripped one to left. We are tied at 3. 7 hits for the Medford Rogues, 6 for the Chico Heat. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning. No balls, 2 strikes. Coffee checks over at first. Right back in without a dive. Next one outside, 1-2. Make sure you follow us also on our Twitter page, at Medford Rogues, on Instagram as well, at Medford Rogues. Medford Rogues Baseball on Facebook. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Coffee has a long hold there and steps off the backside of the rubber. Game 2 of 3 between Chico and Medford, tomorrow night's game. Part of a Fred Meyer Family Fun Sunday here at the ballpark. Delorfis hits the comebacker to Coffee, fires to second for 1, and Scotty Wright broke it up. Coffee took his time with that one. And they'll say that Scotty Wright going to get the extra out, a double play, because he didn't go down. That's one way to get out of the inning. With 1 out, Scotty Wright didn't slide, so they'll call him out. Tied at 3, we'll go to the top of the 9th. A unique ending to the bottom of the 8th inning. Here at Harry and David Field, top 9 coming up. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. Just under 2,000 on hand tonight here at Harry and David Field for Game 2 of 3. Featuring the Chico Heat and the Medford Rogues. We're tied at 3. Last night's game had to go to extras. Tonight's game well on its way as well. We'll see. The Rogues go to the bullpen with Malik Evans, wearing number 21, a returning Rogue. Evans threw 6 innings last year, allowing 3 hits, walking 2, striking out 4 in 5 games. Had a win and 2 saves, 0 ERA. Product of Campbellsville University. Along with DJ Wilson and Clay Valenzuela-Reese. First pitch inside from Malik Evans to Jake Davidson. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the 1-0. Over the heart of the plate for a strike here in the top of the 9th. We are tied at 3. Count is 1-1. Off the plate, 2-1. The 2-1. Chopped down the third baseline foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Evans, a Springfield, Oregon native. Likely will see more innings this season than he did last. Came in late and really just didn't throw as much, but was effective. The 2-2. Lifted in the infield. DeLorfis calls off everybody and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Jack Rotteville, the left fielder, steps in. 1 for 4 tonight. Struck out in his last at bat in the 7th.
Left fielder Jack Rotteville.
1 away here in the top of the 9th. Evans deals the first pitch. Rotteville lays down the bunt, fielded by the third baseman and fired over the first just in time on the slide is Rotteville. A great throw by Bryce Tilton, who's in over at third base. So Rotteville gets on with an infield single. What a great play by Bryce Tilton has been impressive in the field for the Rogues. Did not get the start tonight, but came in after Taylor Frost was the pinch hitter for Jaden Hanna. Evans' first pitch to Chris Smutney is up and in. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0 hit under the glove of Tilton after a dive. Runners on first and second.
Designated hitter Bailey Zimmer.
Next up, Bailey Zimmer. 1 away, runners on first and second base. Back-to-back singles, 1 in the infield, 1 hit hard to left field. First pitch to Zimmer is a strike on the curveball by Evans. No balls, 1 strike. Quickly, 0-2. Fans getting into it just a little bit here. Starting to think everybody fell asleep. Great ball game where we've seen zeros the last 5 innings on both sides. The scoring came early. Tied at 3 here in the top of the 9th. Evans comes back with the fastball, fouled in the parking lot. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes here in the top of the 9th inning. Lots of great games going on and theme-wise here at the ballpark this year. Check those out on MedfordRogues.com. Evans gets Zimmer to swing through the off-speed for the second out of the inning. Cole Lemmel will step in. The right fielder who was hit by a pitch in the 8th has also scored a run back in the 2nd. Runners on first and second for the Chico Heat here in the top of the 9th inning. 2 outs. First pitch upstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Superhero Night, Thursday, June 15th against the Portland Pickles. You're not going to want to miss that one. And, of course, 2 days later, Star Wars Night with more fireworks. You got to wear your costume, though. That's the caveat. Lemmel swings through the fastball, count 1-1. Father's Day going to be a good one. We've got Father's Day brunch here on June 18th. Come on out with Dad and throw the baseball around at Harry and David Field. And, of course, if Dad comes on down for that, gets a ticket to the night's game. Bender in there for a strike by Evans. 1 ball, 2 strikes here in the top of the 9th inning. We are tied at 3. Evans looks at second. From the stretch, he deals. Flailing the arms at that one. In foul territory, Gutierrez makes the catch. 2 stranded. We're going to the bottom of the 9th inning. Chico 3, Medford 3. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. Clay Valenzuela-Reese, the leadoff batter in the bottom of the 9th inning against Brian Coffey, the left-hander. Tied at 3. Rogues can walk off. Valenzuela-Reese swings through the first one. The count is 0-1. The lefty deals. Downstairs, 1-1. Reese pops it up to the shortstop, just touching the outfield grass, and he makes the catch. First out.
Next up for the Medford Rogues, first baseman, Johnny De La Cruz.
So De La Cruz will step up here with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th, tied at 3. Right-handed batter, left-handed pitcher. Upstairs, 1-0. Oregon State on top 5-zip. Taking on the Yale Bulldogs tonight. NCAA baseball tournament. 2 balls, no strikes to De La Cruz. Here's a 2-0. Down and in, 3 balls, no strikes. Here's the 3-0. Ball 4, 4-pitch walk from Brian Coffey.
Next up for the Medford Rogues, right fielder, Jake Hellwig.
Hellwig is 0 for on the night. Looking to make an impact. He did last night. But kind of the only guy that really swung the bat well last night was Hellwig. It'll be a lefty-lefty matchup. 1 out. One ball, no strikes. To Hellwig. In the dirt, Davidson pops up. No advancement from De La Cruz. 2 balls, no strikes. Called strike at the knees. 2-1. One away, De La Cruz at first. Hellwig leaves it down. 3 balls, 1 strike. Coffey steps off the rubber. Runner at first is De La Cruz, who drew a 4-pitch walk. The 3-1 to Hellwig. Coffey goes to the plate. Hellwig got jammed. It's going to sneak over to second base. The shortstop, Smutney, takes it himself, steps on the bag, and then came down. Looked like a little funny for the out. But slow to get up is Chris Smutney. Still down on one knee. Might have rolled it. 2 outs for Connor Lowry with Hellwig over at first. Lowry has 2 singles tonight, but not much has come away from that. And they're going to go out and check on the shortstop, Smutney, who clearly came off the second base a little bit funny. It looks like he might have rolled the ankle. So Hellwig was jammed, a dribbler up the middle, fielded by the shortstop, and he took it himself, but rolled the ankle. Rolled the ankle, rather. And I think the entire team has come over to check on him. Funny how this works. 2 outs, runner on first base for Connor Lowry. A long stoppage of play here, and the umpires are kind of just looking around, not really saying, hey, is he going to be okay or what? And now they're pointing out to the bullpen. So there's going to be a change of some sort. We'll try to sort this out for you. 2 outs, runner on first. Connor Lowry up. Bottom 9, we're tied at 3. And there's a replacement coming in from the right field bullpen, of all things. Smutney's going to exit the game. We'll try to get the replacement number for you. So it looks like we got this somewhat sorted out for you. Cloward appears to have moved over to shortstop. And over at third, actually getting a couple warm-up tosses, is Samson Abernathy, one of the pitchers, so that would make sense. He did come out of the bullpen. And Joe Bath is over at second now. So Bath at second, Cloward at short, and Abernathy at third. 2 outs, runner over at first is Jake Helwig for Connor Lowry at the plate. Coffey, the left-hander, will face the right-handed batter, Connor Lowry. Let's do this here. Bottom 9, tied at 3. Lowry is due for something more than just a single. Coffey looks at first, goes to the plate. Lowry looks at that one, up and away, 1 ball, no strikes. Lowry fouls it away. Count is 1-1, 2 outs. Runner over at first is Jake Helwig. Count is 1-1, 2 outs. The pitch to Lowry is well upstairs and well out of the zone. Davidson popped up to make a nice stop. 2 balls and a strike. Lowry pops it up. Shallow left field. The new shortstop, Cloward, goes back and makes the catch. We are out of regulation. Bonus baseball coming. To the top of the 10th we go for a second straight night, and we are tied at 3. Last night we were tied at 4. We'll come back here as we begin extra innings. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. Top of the 10th inning. Tied at 3. Malik Evans will deal to Marcus Wilhite. First pitch is outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Wilhite moved a runner over in the 8th. Evans has worked out of jams in the last 2 innings. Evans rolls the curveball over. Looked real good. Count is 2-1. The righty deals. Hit hard, takes a funny hop up to De La Cruz, but he takes it himself from first over to the bag for the first out of the inning. 2-hopper, and just when it hit the lip of the infield grass, it popped up to Johnny's face. So an extremely high bounce, and he grabbed it and took it to the bag himself. First pitch to Joe Bath is downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 away, top 10. Tied at 3. Hit sharply over to DeLorfis on the line, and he makes the catch it short. 2 quick outs here in the top of the 10th inning. Cloward now the shortstop. Steps in here with 2 outs. First pitch for Malik Evans is low. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0. Called strike at the belt. Count is 1-1. Evans leg kicks, fires. The 1-1. Hit sharply to left for a base hit. A lot of 2-out singles here tonight, not really translating into much of anything. Just extending these innings quite a bit. First pitch to Tanner Tokunaga is out of the zone. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Up at the eyes. Cloward stands at first. Gutierrez came out to talk to his veteran right-hander, Malik Evans. Again, you're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. Nice to have you with us, rather. We're talking a lot in the last couple days. My name is Brian Schnee. Nice to be with you. That one lifted to right field. It's going to drop. Hellwig cuts it off. Runners on second and third now, with 2 away. Tokunaga keeps it going. So Cloward at third, Tokunaga at second. Jake Davidson steps in, and for the second night in a row, Chico has an opportunity to score in the top of the 10th inning. And while not a lot has translated, got 2 runners in scoring position here with 2 outs. Hits sharply to the hole. DeLorfis takes a funny hop, lost the baseball. 1 run comes to score. Runners on the corners now, and Chico's got a 4-3 lead.
Left fielder Jack Rodeville.
Cloward scores. It is a 4-3 Chico lead here in the top of the 10th. Runners on the corners. Davidson at first. Tokunaga at third. Jack Rodaville steps in. Evans holds. Goes to the plate. Hits sharply off of the glove of Evans. It dribbles over to the second baseman, barehanded, fired to first. Not in time. Rather, no throw. It looked like he fired. Thought Scotty Wright let that one fly. He ate the throw, and another run scores. Wow, surprised me. He had time. Looked like it came out of his hand. He kept the baseball after all. Coronado's going to go out and talk to Evans. It's now 5-3. How about this turnaround in the top of the 10th? Oh, my. Fans leaving the ballpark. Don't they know there's fireworks tonight? Someone stop them before they head out. You're missing perhaps one of the best parts about being here tonight. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Samson Abernathy, who came in from the bullpen to field, steps in for his first plate appearance. 2 runs in for Chico in this inning. Rodaville at first, Davidson at second, Abernathy at the plate. A 5-3 lead for Chico here in the top of the 10th. First pitch to Abernathy is a strike. Count is 0-1. Evans goes to the plate. Abernathy fouls it away. Count 0-2. Interesting that Evans appeared in 5 games last season for the Rogues. Didn't allow anything. First appearance here in the top of the 10th. Thrown a couple innings prior to this in the top of the 10th, but just getting roughed up a little bit. All with 2 outs. Good pitch, just a little in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. First time tonight we've seen anything happen with 2 outs and actually translate on the scoreboard. Not to mention we had 6 straight innings of no scoring. Chico scored 3 in the top of the second. Medford scored 2 in the bottom half and then 1 more in the bottom half of the third. They went zeros from there on out. Evans, a little late break on the curveball. Some jeers from the crowd. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes with runners on first and second. And just a handful of folks, at least down the right field line, walking out of the park. But still a good crowd on hand tonight. The 2-2. Abernathy fouls it off himself in the box. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Second straight night, we go to extras, and second straight night, Chico has decided to pour it on. You know the best part about being upstairs? I can actually see how many people are watching the game and just sitting on their cell phones. There's a ton right in front of me just taking pictures. Selfies and you name it. Abernathy, a chopper down the third base line. It's picked up in foul territory by Tilton. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I guess I shouldn't lie to you. I also had this game streaming live on my Facebook page for about the first 3 innings. So, phones there are. Up here in the booth, and down in the stands. Tweet your pictures at us if you'd like, if you come to the games. That's the best way to do it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on first and second base. 2 coming in here in the top of the 10th. It's 5-3 Chico. Up and in, 3-2. You know, a funny quick story about Chico the other night. They had fireworks on display as well, but they had to do it before the city ordinance. So they actually did them in the bottom of the 8th inning. When it was Portland at Chico, they stopped the game for about a 7 to 10 minute fireworks show, and then they kept going in the 9th. That's a good pitch, just outside though. Fans not happy, and they walk the bases loaded.
Next batter up.
Ba-
Designated hitter,
Bailey Zimmer steps in. Bases loaded. Davidson at third, Radaville at second, and Abernathy at first. No one up in the Rogues bullpen down the left field line. First pitch to Zimmer, up at his eyeballs. 1 ball, no strikes. (5-3) lead for Chico in the top of the 10th. Count 1-1 after Zimmer fouls it straight back. Again, bases loaded. Malik Evans still out there. Evans has thrown an inning and 2/3, allowed 2 earned runs, 6 hits, striking out 1, walking 1, facing his 13th batter. That one nearly gets by Gutierrez. 2 balls and a strike. Again, to recap for you, Peyton Fuller threw the first 6 innings for the Rogues, allowing 2 runs. 3 came around to score total. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, facing 28 batters. Aaron Hutchinson came in, and that one ripped down the left field line. 1 run scores, another one coming around to score. A runner on his way to third in a 2 RBI double for Bailey Zimmer. Blows this game open 7-3 in the top of the 10th.
right fielder Cole Lemon.
Zimmer at second, Abernathy at third. Radaville and Davidson came around to score. It is 7-3 with 2 outs in the top of the 10th inning. Rogues still get an opportunity in the bottom half. 13 hits for Chico. That one hit right at the second baseman. Scotty Wright makes the catch. 4 runs come in. A bunch of hits. Chico just teeing off in the top of the 10th. They lead 7-3. We'll see if the Rogues have it in them here when we return. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. Back here in the bottom of the 10th inning, special thank you to those that keep our players here at Harry and David Field feeling their best and get back to 100%. Trainer Rob Patterson for the Medford Rogues just brought the golf cart out and actually brought Chris Smutney off the field and out of the complex. Smutney went down with the rolling ankle in the last inning, and then they had to shuffle the entire infield. So medical attention for Chris Smutney. Wish him the best, and hopefully just a sprain or just a roll. So we'll see if he's in the lineup tomorrow night. 1-1 count to Dante Gutierrez. Coffee back on the hill. 2 balls and a strike. Coffee leg kicks and fires the 2-1. Outside, 3 balls and a strike. Seven to 3, the score here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Called strike of the knees. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Again, thanks to all of you for joining us live on MedfordRogues.com.